Sagar, thank you. Wolfgang, thank you guys for having me. I was 6'5" before I met Sam Bankman-Fried. Look at me now, ladies. Look at me now. That was some rough shit last year. Okay, let's just put it. All right, so I want to talk 2 minutes on regulation, at least give you some of my thoughts, distilling some of the congressional leadership here, some of the people I've talked to. Ask yourself the following question, okay? What advice can I give them about regulating our industry? Now, Wolfgang mentioned 1932. In 1933, Franklin Roosevelt put one of the greatest criminals, white-collar criminals in U.S. history, in charge of the Securities Exchange Commission. Anybody remember what his name was? Yes, it was Joseph P. Kennedy. Okay, he hated Kennedy, but Kennedy supported his presidential election, and they said, we've got these banksters, we've got to figure this out. What are we going to do? So Roosevelt said, well, we're going to hire the burglar and the criminal to teach us how to guard the house. Okay, so I just wanted to put it in perspective for you. That's where we are now, 90 short years later. Okay, we've got to look into these centralized exchanges and understand what they're doing and the manipulation that they're creating in the markets. Okay, and we need to explain this to regulators and give them advice on how to regulate the industry. Otherwise, it's not going to go the way we all want. Okay, so I take 2 questions. I only have 7 minutes. You guys look nicer than the White House press corps, just looking at you, okay? You look nice, okay? And you look less drunk than the White House press corps, although it's only 12 o'clock. Any questions that I can answer? Yes, Jane.
Hello. Yes, I think it's on now. Yeah, thank you very much. So my question is, I want to say by 2030 we solve all the world hunger problem. But my question is, we just have a new Congress, everything's going on. So it's in 2023 and 2024. What we should expect from the U.S. government? Congress? What kind of policy, or they don't even have time to worry about this?
So I'm going to give you a very blunt answer. I think everybody heard it, but if you didn't hear it in the back, it's 2023, 2024. What do we expect? Here's the good news. They're focused on it, and the good news is money is flowing to them from the blockchain sector of the economy. And so when that happens, they usually get pro whatever that sector is. You just have to talk very honestly, okay? So as money flows in, I predict that both presidential candidates will be pro-Bitcoin and pro-blockchain because, listen, guys, I got my 11-day PhD in Washington. I can tell you how this shit works. Okay, let me explain what they do. The money comes in, they meet with their political consultants, and they say, well, what do I do? And they say, well, you better be pro-blockchain because let's look at a Venn diagram. If your opponent is pro-blockchain, you're not pro-blockchain, and there's 77 Coinbase wallets in the United States where people are owning crypto, not good for you. Okay, that's almost like a decentralized lobbying organization, right? It's a DLO. 77 million people, they really only care about their money. You better say something pro-blockchain. You see what I'm saying? So, but you're not going to get the regulation you want. That's my prediction until these members of Congress actually hear from this industry, like Joseph P. Kennedy. Here's how people break the rules. Here's how people hurt people in this industry. And here are recommendations that we need to do to not hurt people and to make people feel safer in the industry. It's got to come from the industry. Okay, I'll take one more question, and then I'm going to bounce because I don't want to dominate the time.
Anthony, if you remember that debate between Eric Voorhees and SBF, actually, yes. Eric, he's a very strong libertarian, and he actually says that regulation is what got us in this whole trouble in the first place, right? So he's very much anti-regulation. Yes. So I don't think the point is really related to what you're saying.
No, it is. Go back and look at the debate. Okay, you're making the point that Eric is anti-liberty.
Yeah. So what would be your answer to
Eric?
Eric?
I mean, after listening to him speak in San Moritz, he's probably got like guns and like ready-made food and shit in the basement. You know what I mean? He's very, very libertarian and he's very anti-government. But if you look at the debate is about full-on libertarianism and decentralization and centralization. And the issue for this industry is that is a Rubik's Cube that you're not going to match the colors perfectly. So you have to listen to what Eric is saying. You have to listen to what Sam is saying. And unfortunately, like King Solomon, you're going to be in a situation where you have to split the baby. That's the point that I'm making. You're never going to get regulation that is going to make this industry super happy any more than it made the securities industry super happy in 1933. Remember, in 1933-34, they split the investment banks from the banks. Nobody was happy about that, trust me. And so my point being, you know, if you're an Eric Voorhees fan, you want it to be as close to what he is saying as possible. But realistically, given the nature of human beings, it's not going to be. But you have to talk to these regulators and try to fortify them to get them as close to that as possible. That's the message that I'm trying to make. Okay, I'll leave you with one last thing.
One question.
Yes.
Nothing to do with
it's okay to
blockchain
take
or-
another question?
Yeah, no blockchain or...
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just curious about your
It's okay
footwear.
to take another question, Wolfgang, or no? Yeah, okay.
I'm curious about footwear design. Is that a statement with red shoelace, or it just happened to be something you have in your closet?
You're looking at the red shoelaces?
Yeah. Are you making a statement, or is...
Well,
Just
let me
curious.
tell you something. I was with the two twins yesterday. You see these guys? They're like mountains, okay, from Kiev, okay? And I took a picture with them, and everyone's making fun of my shoelaces on Twitter. They're like, this guy's got Bozo the Clown shoelaces on Twitter. But I'm going to tell you something the twins said to me. They said, you know, President Zelensky, he would never take a picture with us because we really look like a reverse middle finger. You know what I'm saying? But you know what? You got to own your stuff, man. You know what I mean? And just remember, for all the short people in the room, there's more oxygen down here, okay? These tall people cannot think as clearly as we can, okay? There's way more oxygen down here closer to sea level. Okay, let me make a quick statement because I'm looking at that picture, which is probably from 1967, that picture. I mean, my God, okay, I wish I still looked like that. But that's probably when I got here for the first time at the Hotel Seehof in 2007 at the age of 43. I'm 59 years old. When I got here in 2007, trees were going to grow to the sky. We had figured out the global economy. That was the consensus in Davos. We went into the 2008 global financial crisis, and we were really in trouble. When I got back here in 2009, the earth was going to open up, and all of us were going to fall into it. The pessimism in this town was ridiculous. We went on to have the greatest bull market in U.S. history. In 2016, in this room, there was a group of, superstar, really stuffy and status-oriented elites, okay? And they voted on who was going to be the president of the United States 2016. 91% of the respondents, Secretary of State Hillary Clinton. She lost the election. In 2020, right before COVID, in this room, 84% of the people, global elites, Davos, baby, Davos, okay? 81% of the people, Donald Trump is going to be a re-elected president, okay? I'm here right now. I could not be more optimistic about this industry. These people think this industry is dead, okay? They're singing a funeral dirge somewhere on that promenade related to the blockchain. You guys got that? You should be smoking happy about that. You should be so optimistic about that for your futures, your career, and the industry. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much.